once I retired and unretired, to figure out, I still needed to find my purpose. I needed a mission. And reaching out to friends in the HR world, I was told, one of my friends said, you really would be an amazing patient advocate. Have you ever heard of that? And I'm like, no, except for in the hospital, but no, not really. And they were telling, she said, there's a such thing as an independent patient advocate, and you can start your own business. And so I learned everything I could, and started my own business. And it was more than that too. I think, you and I, in fact, you're part of my next adventure. But when I sat down to really think about my second career, that's what they call retirement now. I've been doing a lot of reading about retirement, and really, this is kind of my second career. And when I sat down and started thinking about what do I really want to do with my life? Like, I can do anything I want to do. And I'm like, I really want to continue to advocate for patients and their families. But not only that, I want to advocate for the nurses that serve those patients and families. So the last 2 years, I've been focusing on growing my business of nurse patient advocacy work. I specifically have started navigating. You don't have to be a nurse to be a patient advocate, an independent patient advocate, but there are a lot of us in the healthcare field that are going into this because it just makes sense. So for the past 2 years, I've been steadily growing, hiring nurses and training them to pivot to become nurse advocates in Florida and up in Maryland, because I'm from Maryland and that's where I know a lot of nurses. So it just made sense. And my kids live there and my grandkids. So it gives me an excuse to travel up and down the coast. So that is really where I'm starting right now. And Janelle, you've been great at supporting me in this. In fact, she was the first one. So I'm developing the second part of my mission is to advocate for the nurses that serve our patients and their families. So now I'm working and developing a training platform off my website. It's called Empowering Nurses, and it's a website where I reach out to seasoned nurses, experienced nurses that have pivoted away from the bedside in very unique ways, as Janelle has. And I've offered them an opportunity to develop a course and tell their story and talk about how they did it, how they pivoted, and give them the nuts and bolts of how to do this. Like, not CEU courses, not 4 semesters of courses that you have to take. Because remember, the nurses that are burned out and wanting to pivot away from the bedside, they are young, busy, shift work, and they don't have time to really research and look. They're unhappy, but they don't know what to do. So this is an opportunity for me to pay it and mentor nurses, and both the young nurses and the older nurses, because by developing these courses, these experienced nurses, I offer them an opportunity to earn some passive income. So once their course is up on my platform, they get 30% each time a student clicks on their course, and goes right into their bank account. So I'm trying to think of people my age or a little younger that are looking on the other side, like we've done all that and now. So I'm trying to help them. I'm trying to help those nurses that want to pivot, and I'm trying to develop this platform into a one-stop kind of place, because there's Indeed out there, there's LinkedIn out there. There's there's a lot of places nurses can go, job boards out there, but there's not one central there's health nurse coaches out there that do an amazing job. Helping nurses to explore, where they're at in their life.
I can hear the passion in your voice. I'm so excited to be a part of your mission and to grow as an entrepreneur next to you. I have been an entrepreneur for a little bit longer than you, but I still face hurdles all the time that I'm like, I don't know what to do here, or even to hear another entrepreneur be like, I don't know anything about a website. I had to figure it out. And for me to be like, yeah, I've been there. I totally remember it. And it wasn't like, a decade ago. Like I remember so struggling with my website and just how to get started as an entrepreneur. I also love the fact that you were a little bit lost for a minute in retirement and you were searching for your purpose. I think that nurses love having a purpose. I think a lot of us find our purpose with helping people at the bedside. So when we take that ability to touch our patients away, a lot of us feel kind of anxious and unsure of what we're doing in our life's path. I get that I get that from a lot of people that are transitioning to medical writing. They question, are they even a nurse? Everything like that. But nursing comes in so many different facets. And hearing you talk about so eloquently about how you want to support our community, support nurses that are burnt out by helping them produce a passive income. It's so clear to me that you're still a nurse in retirement, not in retirement, if you're touching a patient, if you're not touching a patient. The nursing like vibe is just so, so deep, which is why I love having this podcast because I love when it shines through in whatever my guests are talking about. And we'll have all of your resources in our show notes. You can find me on Laurie's wonderful platform. Like I said, I was very excited to be a part of it. I have a course on there in medical writing, and I also do coaching on there as well. And Laurie is really gathering a plethora of top-notch talent around her. We've talked about some of the people that she's getting before, so definitely keep an eye on that space if you're interested in transitioning away from the bedside, or you just want to kind of taper down and maybe explore something new. So Laurie, thank you so much for really letting your passion shine right there. That was a long intro, but it was a very lovely intro.